Welcome to Edgewood High School and the 2020 Up-Back Wrestling Championship. So pleased to have with me the father-son duo of Dick Slutsky and Brent Slutsky. Dick, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great to have you here, Dick. If anybody knows about wrestling in Harford County, you know Dick's teams at Aberdeen being such great champions. And Brent, also a great wrestler in his own time. Welcome.
Thank you for having me here. They just announced our 106-pound matches. Now they're going to the 113-pound.
These are the first and second place winners here. These will be the wrestlers that will be wrestling for the championship here. Trevor Lauren from Bel Air and Chase Rondone from Perryville High School wrestling at the 113 weight class.
His opponent from Perryville, sophomore Chase Rondone.
Both of these are numbers 1 and 2 seeds in their division.
And they both look like they had short matches coming into here. Rondone did have a decision in his semifinal match, but all falls prior to that.
Now we're up to the 120-pound class, and I'm glad that Matt Rankin announced that name because I'm going to have trouble with it. Konstantin Gorgolanius. Pretty close, huh?
Close enough.
And Kyle Colquitt from Patterson Mill, and Konstantin from C. Milton Wright. Similar situation there as you could describe, Brent. It looks like Konstantin had an easy way toward the finals.
His season record is 33-5, and his overall record is 96 wins and 29 losses. In 2018, he finished third in the Up-Backs, finished fourth last year. In 2019, he finished third in the regionals and was a state qualifier. Kyle Colquitt.
That's the 120-pound class.
At 126 pounds, from C. Milton Wright, Junior James Rivera.
James Rivera Jr. is C. Milton Wright, the number 1 seed.
With an undefeated record of 30 wins and 0 losses, he's a 2-time Up-Back champion, 2-time region champion, and a 2-time state champion.
Brent, hard to do better than that. 30-0 and repeat champion.
I remember watching James last year. He's a very good technical wrestler.
He wrestled at 120 last year, so he's up a weight class up to 126.
In 2019, he was a state qualifier.
Jeffrey Leonard from Perryville will be the opponent. He's the number 2 seed, so we have numbers 1 and 2 at the 126 weight class.
At 132 pounds, from Patterson Mill, sophomore Brian Wheatley.
Brian Wheatley is from Patterson Mill. He is the number 1 seed.
With a record of 34-3 and finished second in the Up-Backs in 2019. Brian Wheatley. Josh
Mitchell won this weight class last year. He's up at 145 this year. Josh Mitchell, we'll meet him later. Juan Ortega from C. Milton Wright. He's the number 2 seed. Juan 26-4 on the year.
And C. Milton has several wrestlers here in a row and several here in the finals tonight. They are leading significantly in the point score and probably will be the champions this year.
Yeah, we were looking at those team scores coming in. They're leading by what, about 40 or 50 points coming into it.
Yeah. Here's another C. Milton wrestler.
Yep, this is Carter Kosinski, C. Milton Wright. He was actually the number 3 seed, actually number 4 seed coming in. He defeated the number 1 seed, Jae Hoon Cho, to get here to wrestle for C. Milton Wright in the 138. He'll be going against Logan Garvin. Logan also a number 3 seed, so he had to defeat the number 2 seed to get there. By the way, Logan Garvin did defeat Carter Kosinski in the dual meets 3-2 earlier in the season.
So that should be another close match then.
Should be. Up to the 145 class. As we talk about Josh Mitchell from North Harford. Josh Mitchell again won at the 132. This is a young man, Dick, who had a broken neck, had vertebrae broken in his neck, only wrestled 3 matches all year, but was seeded number 1 because that's just the quality of wrestler he is.
Well, let's wish him good luck in this opportunity he has now.
Absolutely. Can you imagine being able to wrestle here when you have a broken neck coming back from that?
I can really appreciate that. And I know his coach, Tim Rickey, spoke highly of him and a couple of their other wrestlers that have made it to the finals today.
Kyle Brown is the young man who will oppose him. Now we're up to the 152. It's Gavin Lloyd from Havre de Grace. He is the #1 seed against Cameron Perez from Falston, the #2 seed.
Junior Cameron Tyre. Cameron comes in with a record of 32-2 in the 2019 state qualifier, 2019 Eastern National All-American, and the 2020 Overleague champion, Cameron Tyre.
And Cameron, I believe, is our
At
lone
160 pounds.
Falston finalist tonight.
It looks like it. As I look around, I don't see any more orange out there. Craig
I'll
Hughes
say it's
from
nice to
Falston.
see a mix this year.
It is.
We've seen Edgewood, Patterson Mill, Bel Air. We're seeing a little bit of everybody.
Yeah, and of course the UCB.A.C, Brent, as you well know, about what, Dick, how long's it been the UCB.A.C has been in existence? About 12 years now?
I think a few more than that.
And it's good to see that Cecil County, the 5 Cecil schools and the 10 Hartford schools getting together.
Tyreek Carey.
Here's the Edgewood young man.
Tyreek is 26-8. Is the 2019
We're looking at the 170-pound class. Tyreek Carey. Tyreek was the #4 seed.
Had an upset victory over Michael Schweigert, returning champion from Havre de Grace, on his route to the final in a 4-3 decision. So
Kelvin Mendez is his opponent from Falston. The #3 seed is Kelvin Mendez.
At 182 pounds from North
Now to the 182-pound class, the Theodore Stenson from North Hartford. Stenson is one of the returning champions who's battling in the same weight class he won last year.
I believe last year he was at C. Milton, is that correct?
Yeah, he's at North Hartford.
But he's at North Hartford this year.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I just noticing that, yeah. Wrestling against Logan Dvorak from C. Milton, right? Logan was the #3 seed. Able to defeat David Nathan. Defeated him in a fall of 117 to get into the finals. At 195, it's Connor Morton, the #1 seed from Patterson Mill.
Finished in first place in the Winners Mill tournament, an Arena Club Athlete of the Week, an overall record of 87-27. Connor Morton.
Connor Morton at 30-1. That's a pretty good record.
That is, and Matt Conroy here from Bel Air, he's on a little bit of a roll. He's pinned his way through to the finals. So it'll be interesting to see if he's just the type of wrestler that catches you, or if it's going to be on points.
Yeah, Matt's 30-8 on the year coming in.
He's a sophomore, so at that weight class as a sophomore, end of the season, I'm gambling he's getting better all the time.
Here's Chris Calambias, Chris from Joppatown. He's another one of those returning champions in his same weight class. He won this last year. Chris coming in at 38-1, the #1 seed.
Senior Ian Artis.
Ian Artis is the #3 seed. He defeated the #2 seed Nick Warner in a decision 10-8 to get here into the finals. And now the big guys, the 285-pounders.
From Pattersonville, senior Mason Sprinkle.
Mason Sprinkle had a 36-0 record on the year, the #1 seed.
And he'll be facing from Joppa.
Yeah, I'm going to let you do that. Fola
Kolawola. I know I messed that up.
Well, let's see what the announcer, Matt Rankin, I'm sure will have this name down.
Senior Fola
Kolawole, I think you were very close. From
But
Joppatown.
both of them have decent records going into this, and we'll see what we get on that final match.
Should be great fun. Brent, I think you have the team scores coming in over there. Maybe Dick does. So what's it look like?
We'll let Dad roll with those.
At this point in the competition, we're looking at C. Milton having a comfortable lead at 213 points, The nearest team that's going to challenge for that is Patterson Mill at 161. So that's a pretty big deficit to pick up through the finals by itself. Bel Air was consistently one of the top teams that we'd be looking at each of the last few years, and they're in third place, but they don't have enough ammunition to bring up the 158 much higher than they are now. So they'll want to keep off challenges from Hartford Tech that just behind them by a smaller number of points.
So it looked like C. Milton Wright, who finished second last year and have been close, been knocking on the door the last several years. Looks like they're going to break through and be the UC.B.A.C champions this year.
I would think it'd be very difficult for anybody with the point spreads that we have to challenge that right now.
Yeah, I think the big challenge will be to see if Patterson Mill can hold off Bel Air in the finals here for that second spot, which Coach Reddish said would be a heck of a feat if he could do that.
Well, we're underway. It is Cruz Cespedes, I should say, from North Hartford, the number 5 seed. He's the North Hartford wrestler in the green, as you see. And Gavin McDowell, the number 2 seed from Bel Air. Gavin got here by a bye and then 2 falls. Meantime, Cespedes won in a fall, 541, defeating Matt Honecker, or Colin Honecker, who was the number 1 seed.
We see a little shot there. Ooh, nice throw.
Lateral drop, that's a big time move, and he's going to pick up a lot of points there.
He being the young man from Bel Air, Gavin McDowell.
That was a quick on and off of his back that happens sometimes early in a match. So we've got 2 back points there.
Yeah, a 4-point lead, a 4-0 lead here for McDowell. Cespedes again, the number 5 seed coming in, showing that, you have a good week.
He's up, there's 1.
So he's got 1 point back, now it's 4-1. 55
Looks
seconds
like
left in
McDowell
his
likes
first.
to wrestle from his feet, so.
McDowell in the blue and white, in the green it's Cespedes.
North Hartford's got to become more aggressive if he wants to get back in the race here.
And he's going to have to change levels. And
3 2-minute periods.
Gavin looks very comfortable.
25 seconds now and counting in the 2-minute first period left.
Yeah, I'm thinking Cespedes does not want to give up 2 there.
Sort of working out the string here, Brent, as you're saying. Cespedes down 4-1. McDowell with that 4-1 lead. Had the 4-0 lead.
Yeah, he did.
3 seconds, 2, 1.
Nothing's going to go there.
That'll be the end of the first period. Referees, Bill Weber is the number 129, the lead referee in this case. Brent, what's having there? They're going to choose to what?
He chose to start in neutral.
They get their choice of whether they want to start neutral or go top or bottom on the mat.
Who had that choice? Was that McDowell's choice?
The Bel Air wrestlers.
Yeah,
Yes,
McDowell.
yeah.
So now if you're Cespedes, Brent, what do you have to do here? Not bad.
All right.
Oh, it looks like we have an injury too.
He's going to give up the point there for throwing him down too hard. It's going to be called on the slam.
Explain that, Brent. It looked like it's the kind of play you see in the NFL where you get penalized 15 yards for it.
In wrestling, you have to be careful enough to deliver the man safely to the mat.
Okay.
Because you have altitude here that you don't see all the time in football. But in wrestling, when you get taken off the mat at that height, there has to be a safe delivery to the mat.
Yeah, you have to do it under control, and that control has to be in a manner that is safe, and you have the responsibility when you put the other wrestler in the air. So,
Dick, I know you appreciate this. We have trained trainers here on the spot, so if there's an injury, you're a coach, you know something about first aid, but you're certainly not trained like these official registered certified trainers are.
Yeah, and that's been a issue for years of development, because in the end, the coach has the responsibility.
That's
now,
true.
If you have an athletic trainer there that says, look, we're at a point where this is more serious, then that's going to be a harder decision then.
Looks like Cespedes is up and okay.
You probably had the wind knocked out of him.
So they took the point away from Bel Air and gave it to Cespedes, so it's now 4-2. And that, again, as you said, Brett, was because of the dangerous means in which
Well, just, yeah,
McDowell threw him down.
You have to be under control.
So 4-2 is our score, about 1:25 left in the second period. Cespedes, the number 5 seed in green. McDowell, the number 2 seed in the blue.
I will say McDowell's looking very comfortable on his feet. And he obviously feels comfortable there right now with that position with Cespedes.
And Brent, what about the leftover effects of that slam on Cespedes? It had to take something out of him, don't you think?
I don't think so. I think
Really?
he just had the wind knocked out of him, and he shook it off, and he's fine.
He just protected him there.
I would have gone in the fetal position and asked for help. Because that's just me.
Now, mentally, I think it's a different matter because he just got picked up with ease, and so you know he's going to be a little more tentative, and he looks a little more tentative on the mat right now.
Boy, Brent, that's a great point. You look at the physiques on the two young men, and although we're only talking about 106 pounds, McDowell looks like he's well developed.
Nice double attempt.
Now the referees are going to get together.
They're going to confer.
They are awarding 2 points for the
It was on the
Augusta.
edge. I thought it was a possibility there. It was hard to see from our angle.
The rules have been a bit adjusted in the last year, so you can score more often on the edge or out of bounds than you used to be able to.
Yeah, because unlike Brent, I thought maybe he was already out of bounds. So it's now tied at 4-4 as we're coming to the last few seconds of the second period.
Right, so if you're Cespedes, you just want to control this, not give up any points, get a chance for the third period.
They were fully out of bounds, and you're right, Dick. It looked like they were going to give them another second or two to get back in bounds almost. Looked like they were clearly out of bounds.
I think the rules have been changed slightly so that there can be more activity on the edge of the mat.
12 seconds left, and now 6 seconds.
Okay, and that's just a potential dangerous when you're in that position in the leg ride. He was thrown in the boots.
Boy, what a nice comeback by Cespedes. We were talking about whether or not he'd be suffering the effects of that takedown. Doesn't appear so.
We could get into the riding time issue here, too. So who has the longest time on top can earn an extra point. So now Cespedes is right in taking down, so he has an opportunity to score that point, which puts him ahead.
So we're tied at 4 going into the last period.
He's given him the point. He'd rather try to win it on his feet. So McDowell's is making the choice. Hey,
McDowell gave up the point, so he's now trailing 5-4. Boy, what strategy that is, huh?
Well, he doesn't want to burn time, on top when he thinks he might have a better. He's going to have to get that takedown eventually either way. So he'd rather just start off with knowing he's got to get it.
It shows a lot of confidence, I would assume, by McDowell. Boy, a great way to start, huh? Our first match, and we have it tied at 4-4. Now it's 5-4. Cespedes with the lead. He, remember, trailed 4-0, Brent, in the beginning of the match.
Yeah, he's definitely perked up a little bit. Both wrestlers seem pretty rested still.
Well, can he hold
Plenty
on?
of energy for this
minute 20, minute 18.
minute. They're not moving super quick, so they're not burning a lot.
Still no control. Looks like Cespedes wants to get him out of bounds.
Yeah, he wants to get a fresh start. He didn't want to give up that takedown. And now he's going to try to burn some time, I would think. The officials recognize that that's a stalemate.
50 seconds. Now that decision by McDowell to give up the point is looking more and more ominous at this point. He needs a takedown.
Well, he chose his feet earlier in the bout as well in the second period, so I think he would prefer to not be in a top-bottom position, and that just could be his style.
35 seconds. We'll give Cespedes credit, a number 5 seed. And now the
There's no
takedown.
point given.
Oh,
Big exchange there.
A 7-4 lead for Cespedes with 19 seconds left.
That was huge as far as balance and hip position. And he's a leg wrestler, so he's going to try to tie up those legs and just run out the clock here.
8 seconds, 7 seconds. Boy, it looked like McDowell had the takedown. Cespedes reversed him and got the points. 1 second. That's the win for Cespedes.
Wow, that's all heart. That was heart there at the end. He was in
Cespedes
serious
wins
trouble.
it. 7-4, the win for Cespedes. Again, coming from the number 5 seed. Here's the replay of it. You'll see this. It looks for all the world like McDowell has the takedown. And look at the reversal.
All hip position.
Wow. Dick, that was impressive. That was impressive.
Never give up.
Never give up.
Yep.
I think Jimmy Valvano said that, didn't he, back in 1983? Or actually later. So North Hartford wins and gets the points there in that first match in the 106 category.
Well, and they have to be super excited about that. Both how it happened and to have a 5th seed come in and be a champion.
And just that quickly, we're going now to the 113 match. This is Trevor Lauren for Bel Air, who is the number 1 seed against Chase Rondone, last year number 2 at the 106.
And Chase in on a quick shot. I think he has 2. And he lets him up.
Rondone in the all blue uniform with the gold trim. Taylor Lauren in the blue with the white. I think it was Taylor's brother Lauren who won in this, Brent Lauren I should say, who won in this category last year at 113. So it is a 2-1 lead for the lad in green, and that's the lad from Perryville, Chase Rondone.
Chase is in again on a high crotch. Shifted to a double, got another 2 points.
So it's a 4-1 lead for Chase Rondone with 50 seconds and counting left in the first period.
Bel Air coached again this year by Craig Reddish.
Talking to Craig before the match, and he's, realized this is going to be a tough year with 13 of his 14 first-string wrestlers having graduated. That was Craig Reddish you saw just a moment ago.
Let's see what's going on here.
20 seconds. Almost looks like Rondone is content to ride out this period if he can.
You have a riding time factor that will play into this, so the man that stays on the top the longest can earn an extra point.
1 second, and that is the end of the first period with a 4-1 lead for the number 2 seed Chase Rondone over the number 1 seed Trevor Lauren from Bel Air.
And
Lauren
deferred.
The Perryville coach. Don't have his name, unfortunately. I wish I did. They didn't give us coaches' names. Shame on them. Second period now underway. Trevor Lauren 35-3 coming in.
They started in neutral. Rondone certainly prefers to be on his feet, it appears.
Has that 4-1 lead as we're now in the second period. This is the 113 bout. Brett, what are they doing there? Just feeling each other out?
A little bit of hand fighting.
Yeah.
For position. He's in again on a single. Lauren has definitely been more of a counter wrestler here.
Looks like 2 points
Rondone
awarded.
got another 2, I think.
Yeah, for Rondone. He's going to have that 6. Actually, they gave the points to Trevor Lauren.
That's a mistake. They'll fix that.
Okay. Now it is, you're right. It's now 6-1. The scoreboard showed the points going to Lauren, but instead, as correctly called by the official. So the Perryville wrestler up by 6-1.
Yeah, Lauren's going to have to start being a little more proactive versus reactive if he wants to get back into the match.
He gets an escape, so that makes it 6-2 now. 30 seconds left in the second period.
And again, they're hand fighting, just trying to get position.
Chase Rondon, the number 2 seed, coming in at 27-6 on the year. Trevor Lauren at 35-3, the number 1 seed. 5 seconds for the end of the second period with a 6-2 lead going into the third period.
Lauren takes a bottom position.
Means he has to escape.
Yeah, you can't let him ride him this time. First of all, there's a fatigue factor, and second of all, he needs the point. He's got to cut him loose.
Escape would give him just 1 point. He'd still be 3 down. So.
Right, he's going to cut him loose. Oh, he changed his mind.
Maybe a surprise strategy, huh, Dick? Are we looking at our second upset in two bouts?
He's in trouble.
He being the Bel Air wrestler,
yeah.
Lauren.
He's in trouble. He's going to be, this is, if he doesn't give up points or worse, he's certainly losing energy just fighting for position here. It's going to be real tough for him.
Potentially dangerous there. If he extended his arm too much further back, there could have been an injury involved there.
I thought we were going to award some points to...
No points there really to be awarded.
Looked like almost a near fall there. Now he does let him up, so now it's 6-3. Minute 15 left in the bout. Perryville's Chase Rondon in the blue and gold.
And he just has to, he's got 1 minute to be smart and hand fight. And
Brent, as a wrestler, you know that's an eternity. It's like, come on, it's only 60 seconds.
That's plenty of time.
6-3 the score. Rondon has led all the way.
You just don't want to give up anything big. Now Lauren went for a headlock. Rondon slipped past it pretty easily.
And that's 2 points for Rondon. He's up 8-3 now with 39 seconds left.
And he has an arm bar in on the one side. And he really just has to ride it out at this point if he wants.
Well, you just don't want to make a big mistake here, Brent.
And the reality is it's a 9-3 score. Goes to the riding time.
20 seconds left in this bout. Chase Rondon from Perryville High School.
Looks like he's going to be our champion here at 113.
8-3 the score. Dick, you're saying they're going to add a point, you think?
They are.
Riding time?
Yeah.
2 seconds, 1 second, and the bout is over. And you can see Chase Rondon is a bit happy about it. Don't blame him there. They're leaving the score at 8-3. Are they?
It's a 9-3 score.
I'll take your word for it, Dick. They still put 8-3 on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
But, you're thinking it's 9-3. In any event, it's a big win.
He's got that riding time, so they'll have to now add that in at the
now we're going to get a chance now to see our champion in the 106. We'll take a pause here between bouts to allow the 106 champion to be honored. That, of course, is Cruz Cespedes, who won that 7-4 match against Gavin McDowell.
And then we'll have another big match as far as for Patterson Mill and C. Milton. C. Milton clearly in first, but Patterson Mill trying to hold on to that second spot.
Yeah, you see Chase Rondon being congratulated by, here's a young man who's number 2 seed coming in and pulls the upset. Well, nice crowd here. I just have to give Sarah Friedman, the Edgewood athletic director, a great deal of credit. Now they're awarding the finishers. Jonathan Booker of Edgewood was 6th, Aiden Boyd 5th, Colin Honecker 4th place from Bohemia Manor.
In 3rd place, Demetrios
Gorgorianis of C. Milton in 3rd place.
In 2nd place, Gavin McDowell of Bel Air.
Gavin McDowell is the 2nd place finisher and the champion, 106, 2020, Upback champion, Cruz Cespedes of North Hartford High School in the upset And the cruise chant, there you can see how proud he is. Brent, you've been there on that top rung. What feeling is that, huh?
It always feels good to be on the top rung.
That's something he will remember the rest of his life.
Hey, he will. He will. Actually, all of them will remember this. Placing anywhere up on those on the podium is a fun experience, and they put a lot of hard work over the season to get there.
Folks don't understand that who are not wrestlers, and I being one who's not a wrestler, the amount of dedication it takes, Brent, to be able to be at this level.
It takes a lot of time to focus on maintaining their weight throughout the year. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it, and certainly something that they'll remember, and a lot of lessons, valuable lessons they'll take with them for life.
Moving on, the 120-pound class, it's Konstantin Goglianis. He's from C. Milton Wright, the #1 seed, against Kyle Polkett from Patterson Mill. He's the #2 seed. Goglianis 29-1 on the year.
No points awarded yet. They've been kind of scrambling. There's 2.
Polkett 33-5 on the year. The C. Milton Wright wrestler, the one with the W on his back. Colors are about the same if you're trying to distinguish on your screen.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to be a leg wrestler, which is a good thing.
He being Goglianis.
Both of these wrestlers look like they're leverage oriented.
Goglianis got here. He had 2 falls, one at 113 and one at 127. Polkett earned a forfeit and a decision at 7-2. Polkett in the darker blue, he's on the bottom. Goglianis on the top. Goglianis leading 2-0 with 45 seconds and counting left in the first.
Looking for a cradle. Been pushing it pretty hard.
Brent, explain the cradle. Is that an attempt to get a fall?
He wants to lock his hands together around the head and the leg and rock him to sleep.
Ah. 15 seconds.
Now he just wants to be smart and not give up any points
10 seconds.
right at the end of the period.
Looks like he's going to be able to ride that out. Goglianis. He'll take that 2-0 lead into the second period.
It's always good to be aware, of the time and where you are on the mat and the circumstances. There was a coach I once had who was very much on us about that.
Who was that coach?
There's a older gentleman at Aberdeen for a number of years who
won a couple of championships. I think I recall his name. Yeah. Like 3 straight state championships, not a bad deal.
Well, that was one of those things. You would hard to believe how many matches were blown by just not being aware of your circumstances.
Fred, we saw that pickup and takedown, Dick, that time, and you could see that it was a lot less severe than the one we saw in the first match.
Ooh, nice.
That took some skill.
He's in trouble.
He being Polkett.
Polkett is in trouble, yeah.
Polkett from Patterson Mill.
He's managed to get out of that, but
potentially dangerous. He didn't want to risk an injury to the arm there.
Replay of this, you'll see how he was able to take him down.
3 points.
It's a 5-0 lead for Goglianis. Back to live action. Minute 20 and counting left in the second period. Goglianis, the #1 seed.
Going for some tilt points.
Run him over his head. Run him over his head. Tuck your elbow hard. Tuck your elbow and head. Go.
So far, a very technical wrestler from C. Milton here in Goglianis. I'm butchering the name, and I do apologize.
I think it's close. Goglianis is the way that Matt Rankin announced it, and hey, Matt's the professional here. I'm going with him.
To his head.
I just don't see an S in it. So.
2 o'clock.
I know. There's one on the end. They shortened it here.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's it.
They didn't have room to put the full name on the final line. 30 seconds.
We could go back to the Aberdeen days where people don't remember the statistics, but we went 18 seasons where no one in Harford County beat an Aberdeen wrestling team, and 14 years where no one in the state of Maryland beat an Aberdeen team.
Now, how do you remember all that, Dick? I can't remember what I had for breakfast. And you remember the scores that long? Yeah.
Well, we were talking about it. It's one of those things that sticks with people for
Absolutely.
a long time.
7 seconds left.
Very
5-0
nice.
lead.
C. Milton's looking to put their mark on things here. And I think this will be a year for them.
Yep, that's the end of the second period. 5-0 the lead. No question about it. C. Milton Wright looks like they have an insurmountable lead coming into the finals.
And I think they're going to want to make that lead grow. They do a lot of work in the off season. Coaches of C. Milton have been known to do off work and have their kids doing some spring wrestling and other times of the year. And just like any other sport, that's important.
Oh, yeah. And again, we remind you the Bel Air Bobcats have won 6 straight up-back titles. So C. Milton Wright about to dethrone them.
And we do find these things are cyclical. You know, so C. Milton could be tough for a few years. There was a run that Hartford Tech had for a number of years where they were really the team to beat. And there was a run I remember doing with you with Rising Sun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And North Hartford, going back to the 70s, had, you know, great wrestling teams. And again, there was that Aberdeen team that was coached by some guy we know well. Dick Slutsky, in case you're not thinking about it.
We're at 9-0 here, and more points going on the board.
Explain, folks, Brent, the major fall. What's the designation there?
Well, he could potentially get to a tech fall if he's at 15 points.
Okay.
And then that match would be over. Right now, he is in a position where he could get extra points for his team.
30 seconds. Yeah, we were given the breakdown. You get a...
Well, with a major decision, he would get 1 extra point for his team in addition to first place points, the difference between first and second. If he gets a technical fall, he gets a 1.5.
Right now, it looks like a major fall at 12-0.
And then an actual fall would be an additional 2 points.
6 seconds, 5 seconds. And that is the end of the bout, a 12-0 victory for Constantine Gogolianis.
So he will receive that major decision, which will be a 1 point extra in addition to the first place points for C. Milton.
Well, very good. The victory there by Constantine Gogolianis from C. Milton Wright.
Yeah, fully in control of the bout. Very, very technical match on his end.
Top place finishers in 113-pound category.
Now we're having the awards made, I believe, for the 113. 6th place, Lazarus Katsaroas. I'm sorry, Lazarus, I'm sure I messed that up. Katsaroas of Falston.
All right, the 113-pound category, 6th place finisher, Lazarus Katsaros of Boston.
And in 5th place, Logan Barkley of Hartford Tech.
Logan Barkey of Hartford Tech. In 4th place,
there you go. See him up on the screen there.
Roy Hu from C. Milton Wright.
In 3rd place, Melvin Rao of Elkton.
Melvin Rao of Elkton is in 3rd place.
In 2nd place, Trevor Lauren of Bel Air.
Trevor Lauren, the top seed, who takes 2nd place, and then the victor in the 113.
113-pound category, Huckback champion
Chase Rondone of Perryville. Oh, that's pretty cool. Being able to jump to the top level. I could do that.
Has some energy left.
Back in the day. I think if I were champion, I'd be trying to jump as well.
Oh, he's obviously pretty happy about that.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Good job by Trevor, I should say by Chase Rondone. That'll take us up to the 126 bout.
We have another Perryville wrestler here against another C. Milton wrestler.
James Rivera from C. Milton Wright, and James was the champion at the 120 classification last year.
Quick
against
takedown by
Jeffrey Leonard.
Rivera. Rivera is undefeated this year, former state champion.
Yeah.
He's going to be tough to beat.
Jeffrey Leonard, the 2nd qualifier, 2nd seed. He's 29-2. One by forfeit and 2 falls coming in. Rivera had 3 straight falls. Gosh, look, he got a fall at 0:23, at 0:07, and 0:14. Let's see if I can add that up quickly. That's 21. That's about 44 seconds worth of wrestling in 3 bouts.
Well, it looks like Leonard's already eclipsed that, so that's good for him.
That's one thing. Oh, he's outlasted the others.
Combined.
Oh. James Rivera, the returning state champion, you were saying?
Yes, I believe 2-time.
Of course, he's up a weight class now at 126.
Well, we do tend to grow as you get a little older.
That's true.
Are they in the big school division?
Stephen Wright's a 3A school. We
So
don't have any 4As in Harford County anymore, but they are 3A.
Yeah, 3A and 4A wrestle together, and 1A, 2A wrestle.
Okay. Perryville, a 1A school in Cecil County, right on the border.
Is he going to give him one? Nope. Still in control.
Still 2-0. The lead for the lad with the red band on his leg, and that's James Rivera from C. Milton Wright. Jeffrey Leonard, Perryville, on the bottom. He's in the darker blue. I got in trouble. I said C. Milton Wright wears the Carolina blue. They say, no, that's the C. Milton Wright blue. I'll just call it light blue. How's that?
C. Milton blue is fine. I had 2 daughters that went there.
There you go. 14 seconds. That 2-0 lead for James Rivera. This is the 126 bout, and we have finished the first period, a 2-0 lead. Referee is Rich Valdivia.
Rivera's chosen down.
Brent, this is the 3rd time that, I should say the 4th time that Edgewood has hosted this tournament, and they're looking to host it again and again. It's supposed to be a 2-year rotation, but Edgewood does such a great job.
Well, it's a good facility for it. It has plenty of room. They have, and they've done a great job of running it.
I was talking to the Edgewood folks, and I said, you've got to do a mediocre job, because that way they wouldn't make you do it again. But they were happy to host it. Another point for James Rivera, leading 3-0.
And it looks like he might have a cradle here.
Looking for that fall.
Not sure.
5-0 lead for Rivera.
He's running it. There's definitely some back points there and potential fall.
You were talking about it. They're letting them wrestle on the edge.
He can still get pinned there. Yep.
And he does get pinned at 1:18 of the 2nd period.
We need the top 6 finishers from the 120-pound weight class. Report to the announcer's table.
That is the first pin we've seen here tonight. So Rivera, the #1 seed, keeps that unbeaten record alive. Here you'll see the replay.
Yep.
Dick, and he's clearly out of play, is the Perryville wrestler.
Yeah, they
Those rules were adjusted in the last couple of years so that the action isn't stopped just because they get out of bounds.
And there you see the pin occurring at the 1:18 mark of the 2nd period.
And Rivera was able to keep enough of his body in bounds and in control where they weren't deemed out of bounds yet.
A lot of these rule changes are reflected for the changes that were made at the university level.
Oh. So we're now about to see the 120-pound winners.
Top finishers from
C. Milton is just running up the points total here.
Fairville's Kyler Brown is the 6th place winner.
In 5th place,
Chase Hooper of Bel Air is in 5th place. That's Matt Roberts, the old Harford County, and there is the Cecil County Athletic Director now,
of Harvard Tech.
giving out the awards.
In 3rd place, Joseph Turner of
Joseph
Aberdeen.
Turner from Aberdeen is in 3rd place. Godfred Archipong from Harford Tech is in 4th.
Kyle Polkett.
Kyle Polkett is the 2nd place winner from Patterson Mill.
Here we go.
2020 Unpacked champion for the 120-pound category,
Konstantinos Gorgolianis from C. Milton Wright is the top winner here in the 120-pound class. Great picture of Konstantinos.
Well, good luck to all these kids as they go on to the states, regionals, and hopefully states as they progress in the rest of the season.
In the meantime,
tonight he'll be happy with his championship.
We will quickly move to the 132-pound bout. This will be Brian Wheatley from Patterson Mill, the number 1 seed, versus Juan Ortega from C. Milton Wright, the number 2 seed. Again, 2 shades of blue here. The lighter blue is C. Milton Wright. Patterson Mill, the darker blue.
Not there, not on the edge.
Actually, it's black now that I look. Patterson Mill is teal, white, and black.
Yeah, a little more teal. I was going to say I'm colorblind, but looking more teal to me.
Yeah.
2 hands on it, drive forward, clear.
The Patterson Mill Huskies.
All the way up to your head count.
Dick, that school is now almost 15 years old. Can you believe that? Patterson Mill.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Just time flies. I mean, it seems like yesterday that school was opened, and now the Havre de Grace Middle High School getting set to open. That's a beautiful facility. Dick, you've seen that?
I've been by it several times recently and participated in some of the ceremonies with the county's involvement in building new schools.
Dick, the former county council president, retired December, huh? Now he's working with Habitat for Humanity.
All right, there's 2 points.
Yeah, this is some quick action, Brent.
Yeah, a little scramble going on there.
2 points recorded for the Milton Wright wrestler.
Well, both of these guys have now wrestled longer in this bout than they did in their other 2.
Wheatley had got a bye and then a fall in 5:23 and a fall in 2 minutes. 28 seconds left, a 2-0 lead with a C. Milton Wright wrestler, Juan Ortega.
Working an arm bar right now, Ortega is.
Boom.
More of a scramble and a throw.
1 point awarded.
1 point awarded. That was a pretty exciting 1 point.
It was that. And that's the end of the period.
Oh, there's going to be a decision on whether the 2 is awarded or not.
Oh, they are going to award 2.
2.
So it looks like in that last flurry, Brian Wheatley is going to take the lead at 3-2. Here you're going to see the replay of this. Brent, you were talking about what flurry of action that was.
You can see the seconds ticking away on that.
Patterson Mill's taking the bottom, hoping that he can escape and gain that extra point.
3-2, the lead for Patterson Mill.
Caution there.
Brian Wheatley, the Patterson Mill wrestler.
Yeah. A little bit risky to throw yourself too far onto your own back as you're trying to torque the wrestler underneath.
Well, Brent, just a lot of confidence, huh? If it works, it's confidence. If it doesn't, it was foolhardy. 3-2 the score, Patterson Mill, the top seed, leading.
All right, there's 1.
That's a 4-2 lead now for Patterson Mill.
There it comes.
Get
He got the stall warning because he's not initiating any action.
Coming up on the 1 minute mark left in the period. 4-2 lead for Brian Wheatley.
All right, now let's see. Ortega's got the single now, working himself up. Both these wrestlers have pretty good hips typically, so we'll see what happens. I think Wheatley's trying to kind of stall this out, maybe get a stalemate called.
Got 20 seconds left. And the stalemate is called. 4-2 is the score. Wheatley up by those 2 points. Ryan Arist, the coach for C. Milton Wright, up and encouraging his wrestler. Coming up on the 10-second mark left in the period. 5 seconds. 2 seconds, 1. And that's the end of that period. 4-2 is the lead, a 2-point lead for Brian Wheatley coming in here to the third period.
Tega looking over at his coaches, get some advice.
So he's going to be on top now. Would you think he would let him go for the 1 point?
If he can control, he's up by 2 points.
Yeah.
So he just depends on how comfortable he feels.
Boy, strategy is so important. We saw that one case where the wrestler gave up a point, just letting him escape.
I think Wheatley's more of a mat wrestler, so I don't think he's going to want to be on his feet as much. I think he's going to like to
throw
work
the
legs and
he's throwing the legs in now.
Yeah, try to work some near fall points if he can.
So he'd just like to ride it out.
Don't forget that all of this is building up riding time.
Huh?
Yep. It's a pretty quick stalemate call when you're doing leg wrestling, but
referee there was Joe McKeever who made that call.
2.
Now we're tied at 4.
Now we're tied.
Coming up on the 1 minute mark. We have a tie at 4-4.
He's putting himself on his back here.
Come on! You got 1 minute!
Minute left.
1 minute, go!
And the escape. So it's a 5-4 lead for Wheatley. Well, this is exciting as they come down to the
There's a
last
stall call on Wheatley already, so if he
45
gives up
seconds
another
left.
stall, that would be a point.
See, he doesn't want to be on his knees here. He should be up on his feet. He's taking away the power of the leverage that he'd have if he comes up off his knees.
Which one are you speaking of?
The Patterson Mill wrestler.
Okay. So Wheatley has that 1 point lead with 36 seconds left. Referee steps between them.
It seems to be some blood, I
Some
believe.
blood.
So with
they'll clean the mat.
With just about 30 seconds left, a 5-4 lead. Matt Button is on the scene from the Aegis. Ace photographer. Boy, Brent,
we should see some real spurt of energy because neither one of these guys is hurting, and now that with this break for the blood break, you're going to see a pretty active, I think,
boy, that's a good point.
last 30 seconds of this bout.
Very good point. So strategy, although it wasn't intentional, obviously, but C. Milton Wright getting a break here with Ortega. Down by that point, he's got to make something happen.
Yeah, I expect them both to go hard at it here for the remainder.
This is the 132-pound bout.
Probably see one more scramble, would be my guess.
Clock showing, 35 seconds. Wheatley trying to survive and win it by 1.
He's going to have to worry about being called for stalling.
He wants to get off his knees.
Yeah. Some more blood.
Another timeout. Looks like Ortega maybe who has the...
Yeah, it looks like he has a nosebleed.
Brent, at what point would the referee say, okay, this match is over?
They have, what is it, 5 minutes of time?
Yeah, it looks like 4 minutes now.
Yeah.
So Brian Wheatley from Patterson Mill leading by that 1 point at 5-4. We've had some close matches here so far. There you see the trainer.
Wrestlers getting a little bit of coaching at the same time as they're dealing with the situation.
Why did they stop the injury time?
I don't know. Yeah, it's 3:57. They've stopped the clock. I guess they figured they've done the injury. Now they're just cleaning up the mat. So it's inside 30 seconds. Let's see when they start the clock. 24 seconds now.
24. This is going to be the scramble for the end, I think, right here.
Wheatley has to last out the last 15 seconds. Can he do it?
Wheatley's going to try to just burn time.
10 seconds, inside 10. Ortega desperate now. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1, and that's the match. Wheatley will win it by 5-4. Brent, great strategy on the part of Wheatley. He had that narrow lead and he made it stand up.
You always want to be ahead if you can.
I've heard that. Being up is better than being down.
It's
I've
an
heard
easier
that.
position to win from.
6 finishers in the 126-pound weight class. In 6th place.
Now we go to the 126 winners. In 6th place, Alan Hernandez out of Bel Air. Bill Billinger from Joppatown is in the 5th place.
We have another C. Milton coming up here too.
Tony Afanosu of Patterson Mill is in 4th place. Colby Miller from Rising Sun in 3rd.
Colby Miller of Rising Sun.
Jeffrey Leonard from Perryville.
What class is this?
Coming up now on 138.
138. We have a senior.
Here's James Rivera, the winner at
Patterson
126.
Mill. No, that was last match.
Now we're going to the 138-pound battle. And this is the battle between Logan Garvin, the number 3 seed from Rising Sun, and Carter Kaczynski from C. Milton Wright. Carter Kaczynski, the 4th place finisher. So neither the 1 nor number 2 seeds survived to the finals here. By the way, Logan Garvin won when they had the dual meet match by 3-2 earlier in the season. So
pretty evenly matched, yeah.
Championship match, 138 pounds.
Logan Garvin, coached by his father, Seth Garvin.
Versus Logan Garvin of Rising Sun.
Brent, you know all about that, being coached by your dad.
A little bit.
It's both good and bad, right? You never
Mostly
get to go
good.
home.
Mostly good.
Yeah. Carter Kaczynski, who decisioned Jae-Ho Chow from Patterson Mill, who was the top seed. Talking about Carter Kaczynski, the number 4 seed.
And Garvin, who dispensed with Kevin Mendez from Hartford Tech, the 2nd seed, to make it here to the final.
And that was a 4-3 decision, so both of these young men got here by very narrow decisions.
I believe this is our only Rising Sun athlete in the finals.
I think you're right. Brent or Dick, you may remember Luke Garvin, 1996, the state champion from Rising Sun. He's the uncle of this young man, Logan Garvin.
Oh yes, those teams were very tough back then.
Yeah. I was talking to Luke before the match, and he's got 2 sons. One is an 8th grader, and the other is a bit younger, who are going to be wrestlers to be reckoned with. So the Garvin family from Rising Sun.
Right now we're seeing both of them being kind of measuring each other out, trying to hand fight for position a little bit.
30 seconds left here in this first period. C. Milton Wrights, Carter Kaczynski, Rising Sun's Logan Garvin. Coming up on the 10-second mark left in the first period.
We need the top 6 finishers from the 132-pound weight class report to the announcer's table.
5 seconds. Looks like we're going to go into the second period deadlocked at zip. Not a surprise when you look at the low scores they've had so far, Brent. 6-4 decision, 4-3 decision. Both wrestlers seem to be very tactical, huh?
All right, yep. Kaczynski chooses neutral.
His choice, he could have...
Quick shot. That looks like 2 to me.
Yeah. Looks like C. Milton Wright gets up to 2 points.
He's trying to throw in a leg ride here, throwing in the boots. And Garvin is preventing it.
Kaczynski on top there with the lighter blue.
Garvin's
Escape.
got one here.
Yep, 2-1. There you see Seth Garvin a moment ago, the one closer to you. Boy, Dick, watching your son wrestle, I mean, it's tough enough being a coach, but coaching your son, that has to be quite an experience.
We saw the coaches over there trying to give some advice. Look like they're looking for either a high crotch or a fireman's type of takedown.
A fireman's takedown?
Yep.
You'll have to explain that.
Imagine the position of a fireman carrying somebody out of a fire by getting one arm over their shoulder and one arm under their leg to lift them up and carry them out. So it looks like a fireman's carry.
Okay. Only the fireman's rescuing, in this case, not so much. 2-1 still the score. 40 seconds left in the second period. The lead for C. Milton Wright. Carter Kaczynski. 30 seconds.
They keep tying up their heads and hands, makes it tough to get in on a shot.
20 seconds. Neutral so far.
Well, still neutral.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
Kaczynski looks at the clock.
Yeah, he's checking out the time. That's mat awareness. That's what we were talking about earlier.
2 seconds.
You need to know what the time is.
And that's going to end this second period with a 2-1 lead for Kaczynski. We'll go to the third period.
He's going to take bottom, try to get an escape again.
To tie it up. He being Logan Garvin.
Yes.
Logan Garvin from Rising Sun, the number 3 seed.
Hold on, I think we got a little bit of a false start there.
He'll caution him this time. If he continues that, he could be penalized for starting before the whistle blew.
Logan Garvin, a senior, 17-10 on the year.
I see how he brought him down to the mat there under more control. And Garvin's close to being neutral there.
He gets the escape. We're tied at 2. Minute 40.
Did he award him 2 points there?
He did. So just like that, Garvin has taken the lead at 4-2, and you can see how excited he is. Looking at the clock, 1:40 left.
That's a caution.
That's on green. Bottom man started.
So they each have one. He's gonna. Kaczynski's gonna need to get off the mat if he wants to try to get back into this.
No, he led 2-0. He hasn't scored since the beginning of the second period. Down 4-2 with 1:20 left. There you see the coach from C. Milton.
Yep.
A pained look on his face, as you can tell. Dick, as a coach, you know you live and die with your wrestlers.
There's the coaches from Rising Sun.
There's nothing you can do. Yeah, you saw Seth Garvin a moment ago. And how much tougher it is when you're the dad. Inside a minute now. Down to 50 seconds.
Try to get a fresh start here.
4-2, the lead for
Kaczynski's going to want to move right on the whistle if he wants to.
But what if he moves too soon? He's already had a caution.
Well, he doesn't want to be too flat. That's a caution.
Caution on top.
On top.
Yeah. Now, he's been cautioned once already. Does he get a point deducted at some point?
Well, no points have been awarded.
40 seconds.
He's building riding time.
35 seconds. Garvin with the lead. Kaczynski looks like he may be winded a bit, huh? 20 seconds, 22 seconds. Does he let him go? He's up by 2. 15 seconds.
He's up by 3. Riding
Counting
time.
the riding time. Thank you. Here comes a young lady telling the referee there's 8 seconds left. 5 seconds. It looks like Garvin is going to last out and win this match.
Looks like it.
And he does. The win for Rising Sun. Logan Garvin, coming from the number 3 seed, defeats the number 4 seed Carter Kaczynski. So the winner by a final of 4-2 is Logan Garvin.
It'll actually be 5-2 with the riding time.
2 close bouts.
Announcing the top 6 finishers for the 132-pound weight class.
Now the 132 winners.
In 6th place.
6th place, Marco Deneau of Aberdeen. We'll get a chance to see in a moment here. There he is. There's Marco Deneau.
Pierce Cortellis.
Pierce Cortellis from Harvard Tech is number 5.
In 4th place, Micah Thomas.
Micah Thomas of Rising Sun in 4th place.
In 3rd place, Logan Mullaney.
Logan Mullaney's in 3rd place from Falston.
In 2nd place, Juan Ortega.
Juan Ortega of C. Milton Wright is in 2nd, and the winner, the 132-pound champion.
2020 Upback champion from 132-pound weight class, Brian Wheatley.
There's Brian Wheatley of Patterson Mill.
That could have been a big one for helping Patterson Mill stay in 2nd.
Very good point. Remember, they and Bel Air battling just a couple of points behind as we entered the finals here. That'll move us along now to the 145-pound battle. Josh Mitchell, the North Harford High School young man we talked about, who was injured all year, came back from that broken neck to record 3 wins to be the number 1 seed. And Kyle Brown of Edgewood, the number 3 seed, defeated the number 2 seed Mason Craig to get to the finals. But watch the monitor. We have a coach who's decided to stand up in our line, but of course that's his right. 2-0 lead for North Harford, in this case Josh Mitchell. Mitchell, the defending champion in the 132-pound class, wrestling at 145 this year.
Firmly in control. Looks like he's got some back points here.
Escape by the Edgewood wrestler, Kyle Brown, 4-1.
Kyle Brown just got thrown to his back. He's in trouble here. Saturday Night Ride.
And there is the pin. 58 seconds left in the first period. The pin by Josh Mitchell.
Is that the first pin we've seen
The
tonight?
second one.
Yeah.
So here's the replay. You'll see how he Brent gets him, turns him over, and has him in trouble. So Mitchell, who won by forfeit, by fall, and then the championship fall. And there it is. Boy, what a wonderful performance by Josh Mitchell, young man who broke his neck in an accident, broke vertebrae in his neck, came back to not only wrestle but to win and now advance on and hopefully toward a state championship.
Well, I'm sure his family and everyone there at North Harford, the coaches, are happy to see him do so well.
Now the winners here in our 138-pound class will be honored.
While we're waiting for that, who do we have coming up?
In the 152.
Yep.
Gavin Lloyd of Haverty Grace, the number 1 seed, and Cameron Perez of Falston, the number 2 seed.
Okay.
That's in 152. Here's the 138-pound winners.
Well, looks like the trophies.
Top 5 finishers. In 5th place, Mason Minter of Aberdeen.
Mason Minter of Aberdeen is the number 5 winner.
In 4th place, Kevin Mendez.
Kevin Mendez, Harford Tech, the 4th place winner.
That's interesting. They have 6 places now. Used to be 4.
Yeah, they do 6. Derek Kaizo of North Hartford is in 3rd place.
In 2nd place, Carter Kosinski of C. Milton Wright.
Carter Kosinski of C. Milton Wright, and the champion, making his dad proud.
2020 Unpacked champion, 138-pound weight class, Logan Garvin.
Logan Garvin, a
Congratulations,
rising sun.
Logan.
There he is. The senior, Logan Garvin, gets the award and shows off for family and friends. Congratulations to Logan Garvin, the 138-pound champion for the 2020 Upback Wrestling Championships. Gavin Lloyd of Haverty Grace, 32-1 on the season, got a bye, 2 pins to advance to the finals. Cameron Perez of Falston.
And now wrestling on mat
2 pins and a tech fall.
Yeah, 17-2 tech fall win. Falston in the orange and gray. Gavin Lloyd in the maroon of Haverty Grace.
Two juniors.
Looks like Lloyd is going to get the takedown. 2 points. Gavin Lloyd got a fall in 1:26 and 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and had a bye in his first round since he is the #1 seed. 32-1 on the season.
They're probably going to go out of bounds here and restart these guys.
By the way, Perez is 32-2. I would assume that probably one of his losses was in the regular season to Lloyd.
I was fooled. They worked themselves back in.
And like Dick was saying earlier, maybe in an earlier year, they would have been called out of bounds. Still the 2-0 lead for Lloyd. Brent, what's the call there? Just
Stall
stalling?
call. You have to bring them to the mat or make a move to get them to the mat when you're in those type of positions.
2-0 lead for Gavin Lloyd, the #1 seed in the 152-pound weight class.
We're going to have a reversal here.
Yeah, and a tie score at 2-2. Good job by Cameron Perez. Coming up on the end of the first period, 10 seconds left. Three seconds, 2. And that'll be a dead heat, 2-2 after 1 period of wrestling. Heading now to the second period.
Perez selecting the bottom position.
Referee Nelson Poe.
Related to Edgar Allan?
Stop it, I don't know. That was Dick Slutsky, in case Edgar Allan has any relatives. We did a basketball game last night, Dick. You'll be interested. The gentleman's last name was Laird. I said, are you related? He said, Bruce Laird is his cousin or some such thing. He didn't have a whole lot of good things to say about Bruce Laird. I'll just leave it at that. Minute 25 left here in the second period. We're deadlocked at 2. Gavin Lloyd, Cameron Perez, Haverty Grace Falston.
Gavin Lloyd working to try to break down Perez. Perez hand fighting and trying to get into position to get an escape.
Coming on the 1 minute mark.
Granby roll there, then the switch.
No points awarded.
Either they would have given 2 and then another 2 or nothing. So
Yeah,
I guess
so
they went with nothing.
Got nothing. It's still the same result, a 2-2 tie. Dick, that's where you're talking about, where they're right on the line. Now they're out. 27 seconds left in the second period. It's tied at 2.
Well, Lloyd will be happy if he can get through this period just riding him out. We'll see if he can get another 27 seconds.
152-pound battle. Nice job of taking him down, keeping on top.
He's going to have to make a move to get him down, since he has a stall call on him already, so he can't risk that.
10 seconds.
He's building up his riding time, as we talked about.
4 seconds. Looks like that's the end of this second period. We're tied at 2. We'll go to the third period tied at 2. Now we should mention there is overtime in case it does end up in a tie. You know, we won't have any ties at the end of this match.
He's got riding time.
Okay.
Lloyd.
So you think Lloyd would get the advantage if it stayed at 2?
Well, if it stays at 2, then it's going to start eating into that riding time.
Yeah, good point.
So
he needs to escape to keep that riding time alive.
Pretty much he's going to need to escape.
So Perez could end up with a riding time advantage if he maintains that lead here in this.
I think the best he can do is neutralize.
Yeah, they'll neutralize.
Meaning they would go to overtime. Of course, there is 1 minute 30 seconds left.
There's plenty of time for some action here.
Absolutely.
To have some points scored.
This has been a relatively mild, if that's the correct word, engagement. Not a whole lot of shooting on either side.
They're pretty evenly matched, and neither one is able to.
They come in. Lloyd is 32-1, and Perez 32-2.
Advantage, yeah.
So they certainly have been successful during the year. Inside a minute now, left in the regulation at 2, tied at 2. Gavin Lloyd from Havre de Grace, Cameron Perez from Falston. The numbers 1 and 2 seed in the 152-pound bout.
We've got some kind of call here.
Referee Nelson Poe.
I think he warned him on stalling.
Yeah, so they both have a stalling warning at this point.
Lloyd on the bottom, Perez on the top. Inside 40 seconds left.
I'm not sure why he doesn't make an energetic start on the whistle. He sits there and lets him get put in bad position.
20 seconds.
Now he does have the leg here. If he can get himself up.
15 seconds.
He's using his hips to try to gather over there.
10 seconds. It looks like
That's
Lloyd
2.
Lloyd got the reversal.
He can
5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds.
Got locked
1
his hand.
second, and that's it. 4-2,
give
the
up a
final
point.
score. Let's see now.
He's going to give up a point with the locked hands, but
See what the official says.
still going to be
4-3.
4-3 bout.
And the clock says no time left. And the official says, yeah, it's over.
It's over, yeah.
What a flurry there at the end. The victory by Gavin Lloyd, the number 1 seed at 4-3, the final score. Wow. That was a close one.
Very evenly matched.
So Lloyd lives up to his number 1 seed in the 152 pound. Now the 145 winners. A lot of credit to the tournament organizers. A lot of moving parts here, Brent, but they're able to keep this thing moving.
Yes, they are.
All the way up to the 160 now.
Hometown wrestler here at 160. Edgewood Trey Hughes.
Against Ryan Turney from Harvard Tech, the numbers 1 and 2 seeds. Waiting now for the 145-pound winners to be awarded.
All right, the 145-pound weight class in 6th place, Lucas Cooper of Patterson Mill.
Lucas Cooper of Patterson Mill about to get his award.
Andrew Van Sickle of Seaman Wright.
Andrew Van Sickle, C. Milton Wright in 5th place.
In 4th place, Daniel Cross of Bel Air.
Bel Air's Daniel Cross is in 4th place.
In 3rd place, Mason Craig of Rising Sun.
Rising Sun's Mason Craig in 3rd.
In 2nd place, Kyle Brown of Edgewood.
Kyle Brown of Edgewood, and then the pinning champion.
And the 2020 Cutback champion for the 145-pound weight class, Josh Mitchell.
Josh Mitchell. Again, you just can't begin to say how proud his family has to be of him that he came back from that terrible injury. Hadn't wrestled all year long. Got in 3 bouts, won all 3 of those, and then qualifies as the #1 seed and wins it all here at the U.C.B.A.C Championship. Brent, that's a great story.
It is a great story, and you know, he was very successful prior to his injury.
Yeah.
So we expect that he'll advance in that way, which is why they gave him the first seed.
Yeah, exactly.
They knew the caliber of his talent prior to.
So here we go with the 160-pound bout. Trey Hughes, Edgewood with the red, and Ryan Turney of Hartford Tech in the blue and gold.
He's got like a headlock with both arms in there. That's 2. He's got firm control there.
The 2 being Trey Hughes of Edgewood.
He's trying to throw a half Nelson.
He was 36-2 on the year. Turney 28-8. Hughes got here with a forfeit and 2 falls. Turney 2 falls and a decision, 10-9. Inside a minute left in the first. It's a 2-0 lead for Trey Hughes of Edgewood. Coming up on 30 seconds. Seconds. Michael Swigert from Haverty Grace won this division last year. He was the 170-pound top qualifier, but he was defeated. So Swigert, a defending champion, will not be able to defend his championship here, even in the higher weight class. 2-0, 19 seconds left in the first period.
So attempted rolls, attempted switches, but
that's the end of that first period.
Hughes kept good hand control, kept control.
Brent, I was going to say that it looks like he's a very good technical wrestler, talking about Trey Hughes.
Seems to be solid, you know, not flashy.
Edgewood has had their best wrestling season in many years.
Well, we have seen a few of them.
Yep. I think they're in 4th place coming into the finals here.
Yeah, the coaches are doing a good job. There's 2 back points there awarded to Hughes.
He's up now 4-0. Minute 30 left in the second period. 160-pound weight class.
Under control, he did a nice job. Looking for an arm bar, half Nelson.
Coming up on the 1-minute mark. Hughes has been in control throughout.
Yeah, Turney's not giving him a lot to work with, though. He's not giving up any mistakes as far as opportunities.
Brent, that's a very good point. He's down, but he's not being recklessly foolish, let's say. waiting his chance.
He's looking for rolls. He's keeping his position.
Down 4-0 is Turney.
But he's not giving up, as you said, any big points.
Yeah, 40 seconds now left in the second period. 160-pound bout. The number 1 seed, Trey Hughes. The number 2 seed, Ryan Turney.
So working in the center of the mat.
Coming up on 20 seconds and inside 20. Great job by Hughes.
Just looking like we're at 10 seconds.
Yep. Down to 5 seconds.
Yeah, he's going to ride him out here. We're going to go into the third period. He's built up enough riding time where he's not going to have to worry about giving up anything that way.
Referee Greg Cerebo. Hughes will be on the down position. What's his strategy here, Brent? Is he going to?
Well, I never like to be on the bottom, so.
Really?
Never.
You're the aggressor, huh?
If you're in that bottom position, you want to be on top.
But you're leading. You've got to lead by 4-0.
Still rather be on top than have somebody have the chance to pin you.
Good point. Well, he's not on the bottom long.
Nope.
Trey Hughes is able to reverse that. He's picked up 2 points. He leads 6-0 now.
Yeah, much more comfortable to beat on somebody from the top than to be the one beaten on the bottom.
You like to be the beater rather than the BT.
That's right.
Or whichever.
As I look through the whole process from weight class to where we are now, the single biggest problem I see across the board is that the bottom man has to learn how to control hand control. And when you make your moves from the bottom, you can't have your hands on the mat. You need to have your hands fighting the other wrestler. And that's the biggest problem I see.
And a quick explosion from that bottom position. As soon as that whistle goes, you gotta move.
Well, Trey Hughes, who has that 36-2 record coming in.
Yeah, he's firmly in control. 6-0 may not seem like a lot of points per se.
What's that weight class at? What's the weight?
160.
160. He's firmly in control of
Just
this
don't
unless
make
he
a big
makes
mistake.
unless he makes a big mistake.
Brent, you're absolutely right. It's you can't relax. I mean, this is your number 2 seed. We're talking about Ryan Turney, so.
And you can pin yourself.
Yeah, so as long as he doesn't pin himself.
He almost put himself on his back there.
Yeah, don't make that foolish mistake. 6-0 with 24 seconds left. Hughes that close to an UC.B.A.C championship. "15 seconds. It looks like Trey Hughes is going to be the 2020 160-pound champion in the UC.B.A.C.
Firmly in control.
1 second, and there it is. Trey Hughes of Edgewood wins it by a final
Well,
score.
the home crowd is loving that.
Absolutely. Mom and
Very
Dad.
exciting for him.
Absolutely.
Good job. And both wrestlers wrestled a solid match. Just
Brent, it's the kind of thing you remember your whole life. You know, you win a championship, especially in your home school.
absolutely. He'll never forget that.
We'll go now to the 152-pound winners.
Top finishers for 152-pound weight class. In 6th place, Zach Gelston.
Zach Gelston of Bel Air is the 6th place winner.
In 5th place, Mark Hopkins of Seamold Ranch.
Seamold Wright's Mark Hopkins is in 5th place.
In 4th place, Max Bonner of Edgewood.
Max Bonner of Edgewood.
In 3rd place, Dylan Moore of
Rising Sun.
In 2nd place, Cameron Pyers of Boston.
Cameron Pyers. I think I've been calling him Perez, but they're saying it's Cameron Pyers of Boston.
Well, we apologize, Cameron.
Gavin Lloyd.
Gavin
Lloyd,
Lloyd
the
having
champion.
Matt Roberts getting a little FaceTime there. Matt Roberts, the former Harford Countyman, son of Carl Roberts, whom most people will remember from Harford County, the former superintendent. Matt's now the athletic director for the county in Cecil County, doing a great job. Matt played at Perryville High School, played basketball and baseball a bit, played soccer.
Championship match. 170 pounds.
Up to 170 now.
From Edgewood,
Tyreek Carey of Edgewood, the number 4 seed.
This is, yeah, the one who upset Michael Schweigert.
Yep. Kelvin Mendez
4-3.
of Hartford Tech is the number 3 seed. He's the opponent. So Mendez, who defeated Nutzling, Eric Nutzling, who was the number 2 seed. So we have a number 4 seed versus the number 3. Tyreek Carey from Edgewood in the red uniform, and Kelvin Mendez, Hartford Tech, in the black with the gold. Dick, I learned something the other day. Hartford Tech is not named for the snake. The Cobra's name came from the automobile.
I did not know
I
that.
learned that. Remember
How
Hartford
come they
Tech
don't have
and
an automobile on there?
Hartford Boat. Yeah, I know, they've got a snake that should be like this Ford Mustang thing on there. Hartford Tech at that time was a very mostly male-dominated school, and the Cobra was very popular back in the 70s, the Cobra automobile. They chose the Cobra. I think a snake is more imposing than an automobile, don't you think?
They should get run over by it.
Yeah. Good point. I've seen dead snakes in the middle of the road. You're right. I'll go with that. Thank you, Dick. That's Dick Slutsky, the sage of Hartford County, right there.
These two have been hand fighting, trying to get some position, but
About 10 seconds left here in the first period, no score. Dick, I don't often get a chance. Just want to thank you for your great service to the county as a teacher and then as county
quick
council
double
president.
right on the buzzer, no points awarded.
No points allowed. Almost interrupted my compliment I was giving to Dick Slutsky. Again, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you, and it was my pleasure to be able to work with the citizens of Hartford County on a couple different levels.
And of course, your service continuing. Habitat for Humanity, you and your wife doing a great job there. Second period, still no score.
Looks like we may have one here, yep.
Yep, there is the point.
Takedown attempt by
That point,
Mendez.
point goes to Mendez as he leads now by 1-0. 170-pound weight class.
Looks like they're looking for throws here. See if somebody gets thrown. That's always exciting when it happens.
And there it is. It's the Edgewood wrestler Tyreek Carey. Again, remember the number 4 seed who, as Brent said, defeated Michael Schweigert to get into the finals.
Trying to drop him back. Oh, there's one.
Escape.
Tied up.
Yeah.
Tied at 2. That had to be quite a match. Schweigert 4-3 losing to Carey in the semifinals.
I would say Carey looks pretty strong, and that was more of a crunch than a throw on that last one, which let's see where they go with this.
Sizing up one another, tied at 2, coming to the closing seconds of the second period.
I don't know that Mendez wants to tie up with him anymore. He's kind of holding back.
30 seconds. Tied at 2.
He's trying to hold his hands.
Inside.
I'm surprised the official is not stopping him from putting his hand in his face.
Down to 10 seconds. 6 seconds. 5. Now down to 2.
No time.
That's the end.
Yeah.
2-2 now as we go to the third period.
Third period.
We talked about that potential for overtime. Dick, I'm not sure riding time would come into play here. Neither one has been riding the other.
Not yet. I doubt we're going to get in that situation based on what I've seen so far.
2-2 as we go now into the third period.
He didn't initiate a start from the bottom, so that's not a good thing.
You're talking about Carey, the
Yes.
Edgewood wrestler?
Yeah.
Neither one of them really did a whole lot to start with. We're going to see what's.
Almost looks like they're thinking out what they want to do. Coming up on the minute 30 mark.
You're going to get a stall call.
Points going to Edgewood.
Then he got a escape and a 1 point.
Carey gets the 1 point escape. He's up by 3-2. 1:20 left. Carey with the lead. Dick, you mentioned about the hands to the face.
You can tap, but you can't have fingers and eyes and things like that. You got to be careful. He's been getting a little close.
We're inside a minute now. Looks like neither wrestler really initiating anything at this moment.
Yep, I think you're right.
Not a lot of change in elevation, which is what is needed.
And just like that, we see
A little shrug or
Mendez trying to get the
Mendez
takedown. Number Carey with
has to
the
prevent
1 point
himself from
lead
getting crunched.
inside 25 seconds. Down to 20 seconds. Still no points.
Edgewood wrestler could get hit with a stall call. He's already
Down
got
to
one.
10 seconds.
If he gets hit again, he's going to give up a point.
8 seconds left. Tyree Carey trying
He
to,
was poked in the eye.
the he being Kelvin Mendez.
Mendez, yeah, I saw him get poked.
Timeout now as Mendez gets attention from the trainer and from the coaching staff of Harvard Tech. Tyreek Carey with a 1 point lead. Remember, he got into the finals by defeating Swigert by 1 point at 4-3. He's now leading 3-2.
That break in the action could actually be a plus for Carey because he can get a little wind, and his coaches were able to tell him, look, don't back up or you're going to get hit for that stall call.
Which would cost him a point and tie this thing up.
That's correct.
3-2 he leads with 8 seconds left in this match at the 170-pound class. So here we go, the final 8 seconds. Let's see if Carey can outlast and stay on his feet, not get taken down.
If his first steps are backwards, he's in trouble.
5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and that's the match.
There you go.
Tyree Carey will win it by a final of 3-2. Well, here's Carey, who comes from a number 4 seed and ends up winning this whole thing at 3-2. But not the most, let's say, action-packed match, but certainly a very strategically well done by Tyree Carey. Go now to the 160-pound winners being awarded. But while we have a moment, 182, we've got Logan Dvorak, who was the number 3 seed, against Theodore Stenson, the number 1 seed from North Hartford. Logan Dvorak, who defeated the number 2 seed, Nathan David.
Well, and these two are probably familiar with each other. As Stinson wrestled at C. Milton last few years. So
Nathan Weller of Patterson Mill is in 5th place. This is the 160-pound winners. Christian Fromley, C. Milton Wright, is in 4th place. Out of Northeast, it's Delvin Woolridge Jones.
In 2nd place, Ryan Turney of Harvard Tech.
Ryan Turney of Harvard Tech, and the winner in the 160-pound class.
Champion at the 160-pound weight class, Trey Hughes.
Trey Hughes. You can hear that Matt Rankin, who teaches here at Edgewood, very happy to announce the name of Trey Hughes winning the 160-pound class. So what do we have? 3 bouts left. The 182.
well, yep.
The 195, and actually 4.
4.
182, 195, 220, and then the big guys. They list them as 285, but I guess you can be any weight you want to be, right?
Well, in this 195 one that's coming up after this match is a Bel Air and Patterson Mill get head-to-head.
Wow.
So that could be a big one.
They can't exceed 285.
Oh, is that right? You
It's
cannot
like
be
the only
over?
way you can't be over the weight.
Okay. What Brent is talking about is Bel Air and Patterson Mill came in very, very close for second and third place. I think it was, what, like 2 points?
2 point difference between the two.
We'll get the final team
scores.
scores
I think we're
here.
pretty even as far as how they've done so far in the finals, so that match could be a difference maker.
Brent, you mentioned Theodore Stenson of C. Milton Wright last year, now wrestling at North Hartford. And his opponent, Logan Dvorak, is a C. Milton Wright wrestler, assuming that they may have been teammates last year.
They probably practiced a lot together, so they're going to be very familiar with each other.
A nice move there by Dvorak.
Stenson.
Oh, Stenson, yeah, the North Hartford wrestler. I should say the fall. Yeah, North Hartford. Dressed in the bright orange. North Hartford.
Well, Stenson was a state place winner last year, I believe, as well. He's a pretty tough.
Because she's 5-0 in the year, so you had a short season, but he had 3 straight falls here, Brent, to get into the finals.
Well, he didn't have a short season. He had a situation come up where there were some bouts for technical reasons that were not counted. So the beginning of his season was basically taken away from him.
Wow.
But he placed, I believe, third in the state last year. Talked to his coaches. They really think highly of him and are happy to see that he's getting the opportunity to compete in his senior year and finish it out.
Well, he's up by 7-0. Logan Dvorak. Down he goes. He does get a point, does Dvorak. He's down 7-1. 20 seconds left in this first period.
Yeah, Stenson's firmly in control of this.
Up by 9-1. 8 seconds. Inside 5. Referee Nelson Poe says that's the end of the first period. He's up 11-1 is Stenson. Looking to repeat as the 182-pound winner for a different school. That's kind of unique. Winning 2 championships, one for one school and one for the other.
It happens.
But the other thing, I'm happy to see that they seed these wrestlers based on their ability, not necessarily on their record. Going back to Mitchell is a good example.
Well, the coaches, when they do the seeding, are familiar with the kids throughout the season. And they do take the record into account, but then they are able to look at factors.
2 more points for Stenson, leading by 13-1. And the pin is recorded. 1:25 left in the second period. The pin for Theodore Stenson, our 3rd pin of the evening. So Stenson, who comes in as the #1 seed, lives up to his pre-tournament seeding. Yeah, we're just handed a note here. And after 30 years in the sport of wrestling, 17 as a coach and 13 as a referee, Bill Weber is retiring after tonight's 285-pound weight class. So thank you to Bill Weber. Bill coached at Dundalk Junior League and Sparrows Point High School.
Congratulations, Bill.
Yeah, well deserved. Bill Weber, congratulations and thank you for all your service.
Colin Bell of Rising Sun.
Now the 170-pound class, 6th place winner, Colin Bell of Rising Sun.
Doctor of Northeast.
Ethan Doctor, Northeast, is in 5th place.
In 4th place, Eric Newsling of Patterson Mill.
Eric Newsling from Patterson Mill is in 4th place.
In 3rd place, Michael Swigert.
Michael Swigert of Haverty Grace, the 3rd place winner.
In second place, Kelvin Mendez of Harvard Tech.
Kelvin Mendez, Hartford Tech, is in second, and the 2020 Huckback champion at 170 pounds,
Tyreek Carey.
Mr. Tyreek Carey of Edgewood.
Tyreek had a great tournament, and it was his day.
There he is. He gets that, and you can see the proud smile. Way to go, Tyreek.
Talked to Michael Swigert earlier before we went on the air, and he was very gracious in losing and saying these things happen, and I'm going to claw my way back, you know, into the regionals and other tournaments.
Well, that's the great thing. There is a second season, the postseason, where this is not it, this is not the end all. Well, now this is Connor Morton from Patterson Mill versus Matt Conroy of Bel Air, the 195-pound battle. The numbers 1 and 2 seed.
And this one's the one I think has ramifications for the two team scores. So
Morton 30 and 1
let's
on
see
the
how
year.
this one goes.
Conroy 30 and 8. Conroy in the blue lower part of the uniform.
Certainly would be an upset for Conroy. But again, when you have a young wrestler at this weight class, that 8 losses could be earlier in the season, and I expect he's gotten better as the year is going on.
Boy, Brent, as you look, he has pinned his way into the finals. Pinned in 24 seconds, 2:28 and 2:30.
He just gave up 2.
Connor Morton got here with a bye. He got the 1 pin, and then he also had a decision 5-2 to get into the finals.
Well, you had a senior versus a sophomore at 195 pounds.
We're talking about Conroy being the sophomore.
Well, he does have that great coach Reddish there in his corner. That's given him a lot of coaching over the years.
Craig Reddish, the Bel Air product, who's coached wrestling there for a lot of years. Brent, I think you'll agree, one of the great guys, Craig Reddish.
Absolutely.
Not only a great coach, but a great person. You're right, 2-1 is the score. The Bel Air wrestler Conroy has narrowed it down.
And Connor Morton is definitely, you know, he wants to win this, and second place for Patterson Mill. So they got both their individual and team stuff on the line.
Boy, Brent, you stated it very well, because we don't know the team scores, but they got to be close. It's close going into the finals.
Okay, that's first period.
2-1 the lead. The lead for Morton.
And I think we might have a little bit of a nosebleed here.
An occupational hazard. Have a little break here. I want to thank both Brent and Dick Slutsky. Thank you all for coming out on this Saturday. What a pleasure having you here.
Always fun.
Thanks for having us.
Always fun.
Looking forward to it. Dick and I were comparing ages earlier, and each of us are getting younger every year, right, Dick?
We're trying to turn back the clock of time, yeah.
We're just thankful to still be able to take sustenance and remain upright. Craig Reddish giving us a little comment in the middle of his battle. 2-1 the lead for Connor Morton of Patterson Mill. Matt Conroy, again a sophomore, as you said, Brent.
Connor Morton has taken the bottom position.
You don't often see 195-pounders as sophomore. Normally they build up. But you can tell he's well developed just as a sophomore.
It's just a matter of if that experience helps him or not. But even as a sophomore, he could have a lot of wrestling experiences in junior leagues that can make a difference.
Point goes to Conroy. 3-1 now the score.
3-1.
We're in the second period, about 1:40 left. Can't overstate the importance of this match. Again, as you said, Brett, not only individually, but for Bel Air Patterson Mill, locked up in the battle for second place. Again, Craig Reddish said if his team can finish second after losing 13 of its top 14 wrestlers, I mean, that would be quite an accomplishment for such a young team.
It really would, for a team that as you said, graduated a lot last year.
6 straight UC.B.A.C championships for the Bel Air Bobcats. They'll give up that title to C. Milton Wright this year.
No points awarded.
No points. Rich Valdivia, the referee. .40 seconds left in the second period. The 3-1 lead for Connor Morton of Patterson Mill.
Fighting for hand position here, both wrestlers.
You see the Husky wrestler, he's got his hand laid over the arm instead of underneath it, which takes away your ability to lift the arm. And then he steps and crosses his feet, which is a no-no in wrestling.
Dick Slutsky, always the coach.
Always giving some advice to our listeners as they're out there.
Still 3-1, 13 seconds left in the second period. The lead for the number 1 seed, Connor Morton. Eight seconds.
If I'm Conroy, I think I'm working for a duck under. You got to cut those angles and go to the side.
3-1 is the score as we head now to the third period.
Let's see what he does. He takes a bottom position.
So he needs to
Smart
escape
move.
first, right, to get that 1 point.
Yep. And again, the key here is off the whistle. Move off the whistle. Hand control and moving.
There's the hand control. It's so important.
He does pick up that point. Makes it 3-2 now. Minute 50 left.
Now a takedown. This could come down to the takedown wins it.
Yeah. And could determine who finishes second or third in the team standings. Brent, you said it, a senior, talking about Connor Morton, and a sophomore in Matt Conroy.
And on a single, does he have the horsepower to bring that in?
He couldn't lock his hands.
Yeah. There's 2 points.
2 points for
Morton.
Conroy, for Morton. Morton goes up 5-2. And now Conroy's in trouble. He's got to get out of there and do something.
He's a little bit in trouble now. Got riding time for Morton. You've got point differential.
See, did they give him the escape point? No, they said he was out of bounds. So that time they didn't let him wrestle close to the boundary. 5-2 the score, 47 seconds left.
That was a good escape.
That was escape 5-3. He's got 40 seconds to take him down. Talking about Conroy.
Yep. Yeah, needs to shift and start putting his arm underneath instead of the over top.
No points yet, no points yet.
Basically welcomed that high crotch there.
Now it's a 7-3 lead for Morton, and that could just about do it. Morton will be content to stay on top if he can ride him out.
Yeah, he's firmly in control now.
15 seconds.
He'll let him go.
Picking up a point, making it 7-4. 10 seconds.
Even if he gives up a takedown, he's going to win.
5 seconds, leading 7-4. 3 seconds, 2-1. And it looks like Patterson Mill, in the person of Connor Morton, I should say, will win this 195-pound battle. 7-4, the final score.
And I think that is going to cement Patterson Mill taking second place in the tournament. They have an additional wrestler coming up in the 285, but I think that was what they needed.
Yeah. Patterson Mill, one of the smaller schools in the county, obviously. 170-pound winners now. Actually, the 182-pound winners. waiting for those awards. While we're waiting, Brent, Chris Calambias from Joppatown, one of our repeat winners from last year, coming up in 220.
Category. In 6th place,
Philip Sorrell of Patterson Mill is in 6th place.
In 5th place, Gavin Lawson of Harvard Tech.
Gavin Lawson, Harvard Tech.
In 4th place, Jaden Braxton of
From Aberdeen, Jaden and Braxton in 4th place.
There you go.
In 3rd place, Nathan David of Perryville.
Nathan David, Perryville High School.
In 2nd place, Logan Dvorak of C. Milton Wright.
That's C. Milton Wright's Logan Dvorak.
The 2020 Nutback champion, 182-pound weight class, Theodore Stinson of North Hartford.
Theodore Stenson of North Hartford, young man waiting for the crowd to acknowledge him, and now he slowly walks to the podium. I think that's what I would do too. Take your time.
All of these wrestlers should be proud of themselves.
Absolutely.
I know they put a lot of hard work into it, and good luck to you guys.
Theodore Stenson
next
of
few
North
weeks.
Hartford, there he is. The 182-pound champion of the U.C.B.A.C 2020. Right now we go to the 220 class. Chris Calambias, we said from Joppatown. Ian Ortiz from Bohemia Manor, Cecil County.
Chris Calamise versus
Chris quickly in on a shot there.
Chris reminds me a little bit of Jeremy Navarre. Remember Jeremy Navarre
I
from
do.
Joppatown?
I do.
Became a Maryland, University of Maryland tackle. I think he was a state champion back when in the early 90s.
I think so.
Calambias, the 38-1 record, the senior.
Joppatown usually is able to, you know, they're pretty well coached. They're able to come up with a couple kids each year that very, very solid.
And there it is, that quickly.
Coach is happy.
Minute 15 left in the first period. Calambias.
They have another wrestler coming up with 285.
So Chris Calambias, a repeat winner. Here's the replay. You'll see how he's able to,
Cradled him up,
and took him down.
took him over, flattened out the blades, and he's done. Yep,
There it
it's
is.
over. It's that quick. Made it look easy.
Yeah. Strong young man is Chris Calambias. At the penultimate bout, one bout left.
Now Mason Sprinkle, who's undefeated, against Fola Kalawole.
That's close.
Kalawole
I'm glad you tried to say that. Kalawole?
from Joppa.
Yeah. Fola, if we messed up your name, we apologize, but want to say one more shout out to Mr. Bill Weber, who is the official. I hope he gets a chance to officiate this last match. So Bill Weber is number 129.
Yep.
Hopefully he'll get a chance, and because we say that because after 30 years in
Yep,
the
he's
sport of
out
wrestling,
there. Let's see if he takes his last bout.
you'll see him in just a moment. Bill, a very handsome man.
We're going by looks now.
I'm looking for maybe a little gift from Bill Weber. In the meantime,
Payment should be coming later, I
I
believe,
hope,
right?
I hope.
We take Venmo.
195-pound winners. Oh, I'm in trouble now. Sixth place winner Robert Ogabuku from Hartford Tech. Fifth place Garrett Arnett from North Harvard. Fourth, Trey Lindsay from C. Milton. Third, John Byers from Aberdeen. The second place winner, Matt Conroy of Bel Air. And there he is, the 195-pound winner from Patterson Mill, Connor Morton, who Brent and I believe that just about wrapped it up for Patterson Mill as far as second place is concerned. Happy young man, as well he should be.
Absolutely. All of those faces, look at them.
You think about what we started November the 1st. Is that when they start the winter season? I think.
Pretty much starts in November as far as getting their weight under control and that type of thing. And it's just like anything else, these kids are working out year round.
40 years of service of refereeing wrestling matches.
Here he is, Bill Weber.
There he is.
Gets a standing ovation. There comes Bill
Good
Weber.
job,
He
Bill.
will be officiating the last match.
Match of the day, championship match, heavyweight division, from Pattersonville, Mason Sprinkle versus Fola Colorole from Johnstown.
Well, he says it much better than I do.
He did, yeah. That's Matt Rankin is a professional
He
announcer.
really is.
He gets paid
really
big
is.
bucks. Actually, he does it voluntarily. Social studies teacher here at Edgewood. Great job. Also lacrosse coach, coaches girls lacrosse. Joppatown's Fola Kalawole.
Well,
He's in
this
the
weight
light purple.
class, you fight for position and don't want to be on your back.
Mason Sprinkle, the #1 seed, 36-0 coming in. Had a bye, a fall, and then a decision. 2 falls for Fola coming in.
The Joppatown wrestler needs to keep his feet apart and not cross his feet.
We teach that in baseball, not crossing your feet, because that's how you get ticked off. Because those sneaky pitchers will throw the ball over to first base just as you're crossing your feet, Dick.
Well, it's the same type of philosophy. You got to have a solid base.
I mean, you can't trust a pitcher to begin with. They're evil, especially the left-handers. Don't trust them. Dick and I used to do lunch duty sometimes together. And Dick, you may remember, I would go around and watch them eating peas. And if they ate with their left hand, I said, have you ever considered pitching? Left-handers are worth their weight in gold in baseball. No score here in the first period, 30 seconds left.
A lot of pushing going on. Pummeling, we call that pummeling for position, where they're trying to get their hands underneath the others.
Coming up on the last second here in the first period. Brent, as a non-wrestling aficionado, to me, the various weight classes are just interesting to watch. You know, you get the lightweights who are quick and, you know, light on their feet, all the way up through the 180-pounders who are, you know, strong and mobile. Now you get the heavyweights. It's a whole different ball game.
It is a different ball game just because of the strength and position. You know, if you make a mistake, it can be very, very critical, even more so than it is at other weights sometimes.
It's like fighting a heavyweight, one punch, and, you know, just ask Mike Tyson against
Yeah,
Buster Douglas.
it's that knockout blow, right?
Joppatown wants the point. Bill Weber is waiting.
No points awarded.
No points at all. For 1:33 left here in the second period. Still no score. Our last match of the day.
There's one.
There's the escape. Point awarded there to Mason Sprinkle.
You see them pummeling for position again.
Patterson Mills Mason Sprinkle has that 1-0 lead.
So important at these upper weights. Got to have that control position.
So Dick, you're saying you can't be over 285 pounds, is that correct?
Yeah, you have to make the weight class just like every other weight class wrestler.
Okay. Did they used to have unlimited weight class?
They did many years back. There was unlimited, and they changed that at the university level, which is like 285 now, I think, also. And prior to that, it was at 275, and people thought that was too little for the big college guys.
Okay. Why was the change made? Did they just not want the obese guy out there? You know,
Probably for safety reasons. The difference in size
good point.
could be pretty significant.
Good point. Coming up with 10 seconds left in the second period. Still just a 1-0 lead for Mason Sprinkle of Patterson Mill. Frank, I would also assume that fatigue becomes an issue with these heavyweights.
Burning a lot of calories, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is the end of the second period. 1 period left with a 1-0 lead for Mr. Mason Sprinkle of Patterson Mill.
At one time, back in the ancient times when I was wrestling, the heavyweight class in collegiate wrestling was unlimited.
Yeah.
You could be 450
Right.
pounds.
And they've really divided the heavyweight into the 220 and the 285. It used to be just one heavyweight.
Right.
Over a certain weight. I guess it was over 190 pounds or something.
Yeah. Might have been over 225 or.
Go back to the Irvin Pankey days. Irvin Pankey was the heavyweight at Aberdeen. He probably wrestled at what, about 220?
Closer to 245.
Well, Irvin Pankey, one of the greatest young men that you or I, Dick, ever had a chance to be around. Became an offensive tackle with the Rams and the Colts for many, many years.
Mostly, the predominant number of years was 11 or 12 with the Rams, and then I think he did a few years with the Colts.
We call them the Ursays. We don't refer to Indianapolis as being the Colts.
And then he went on to be the football coach at the College of the Sequoias in California.
Well,
I had 2 sons and a daughter. And the sons played football for Oregon State, I believe.
wow, what a gentle giant he was, what a great young man. Irvin Pankey graduated, what, 76?
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Now right here, we've got some major action going on. It could be over.
And there it is. Bill Weber gets the chance to score the pin as it's recorded by Mason Sprinkle with 41 seconds left in the third period.
Mason put the sprinkles on the cupcake. It's
Oh, I
over
like
for
it.
Patterson
I like
Mill.
it. I like it.
We've got second place wrapped up.
He put the sprinkle on the cupcake. Very nice, very nice. That was Brent Slutsky, in case you want to send in letters. Here you'll see the replay of it. He's able to turn him over and put him on his back. And
He did a great job. Smart match. Waited for his opportunity. And
Bill
his
Weber
team's
gets
gotta
a
be
chance
happy
to
with
look at
that
that. On his
second
last
place.
match, Bill gets
to call a pin.
there he is, Bill Weber getting some face time. And now some glory time for Matt Sprinkle. Mason Sprinkle, I'm sorry, Mason.
All right, announcing the top finishers from 220 pounds.
Now we'll have the awards given out to the 220-pound class.
Stephen Johnson of Perryville.
Stephen Johnson of Perryville is in 6th place. We're doing the 220-pound winners.
In 5th place, Zach Jackson of North Harvard.
Zach Jackson of North Harvard is in 5th place.
4th place, Ryan Strobel of Bel Air.
Boy, Strobel was a great name in the Rising Sun area as wrestlers going back in the
3rd
day.
place, Nick Warner of
Nick Warner of
Tech.
Harvard Tech is in 3rd place.
In 2nd place, Ian Artis of Bow Manor.
Ian Artis of Bohemia Manor.
And the 2020 Outback champion for the 220-pound weight class, Chris Calamihis of
Chris
Johnstown.
Calambias of Joppatown. There he is, the repeat winner at 220.
An excellent job he did. He looks very solid. I'm sure his coaches are looking for him to do well over the next few weeks.
They're going to have now the 285-pound class. I think the truck was telling me something. Repeat that, please. Okay, we'll do a wrap-up directly after this awards. And truck, do you want us to stay up and do that wrap-up, or would you rather? Okay, so we'll not have a chance to grab a wrestler unless Brent.
We're still off.
Steve Morgan, my son.
Okay, we're waiting now for the 285-pound winners.
Court judge in LA.
Oh, I knew he was out there. I knew he was
We're waiting for that there.
Our partner, Dick Slutsky, is being cheered by his fans. Is he mobbed like this every place he goes?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
He just made Jack
It's a good thing.
I want to thank Sarah Friedman, the athletic director here at Edgewood, for all of her work in putting this together.
Well, and we should thank all the coaches that put in hours with all these kids at all these programs. They really, they don't make a lot. They spend a lot of time. It's really about the sport and about the kids. And I want to thank them all for doing such a good job.
Absolutely. You're watching the crowd sort of milling around here as we're waiting for the 285-pound class winners to be recognized. I want to thank all the Hartford Cable Network viewers for staying with us. This is the 26th season, imagine it, Brent, that we're wrapping up. This is our last event of the winter season. We'll start our spring season in late March.
Excellent.
Be outside doing girls and boys lacrosse.
Well, I want to thank HCN for putting this on and promoting our sport each year.
Absolutely. They do it without any cost to the schools, and all professionals here. As Fred gets his camera set up, Fred, one of our ace camera people, we'll get Dick a little FaceTime here. I know.
I'm trying to avoid that.
I'm hiding behind the TV screen as I'm ducking down.
Well,
we don't have the final score, so we're just assuming. We know that C. Milton Wright finished first. There's no question about that.
Yes, C. Milton's definitely first. I think Patterson Mill, definitely we're going to see them in second, would be my guess. From what I saw, I don't think there was a big surge by Bel Air in the finals. So, but third place after graduating 13, 14 wrestlers last year. Absolutely, Bel Air, outstanding job again by Coach Craig Reddish.
No question about it, and congratulations to C. Milton Wright. They have broken that 6-year winning streak that Bel Air had. It's always nice to, especially when you're C. Milton Wright, you're arch rivals with Bel Air. It's always fun, right, Dick?
Yeah, absolutely. And you have two of the bigger schools in the county, and they're both performing well in the Hartford County Wrestling Arena.
And think about Patterson Mill, one of the smaller schools in the county, and finishing second place. So, give a lot of credit to them as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And their kids work just as hard, and they put in the time, and they want to win just as bad as bigger schools or smaller schools.
And remember, they have to field the same number of teams as the big schools. So, in the winter, you've got, your basketball teams that you have to field and so forth. And so they're able to put together a winning team. Brent Slutsky, thank you so much there. You see the finals.
The scores are going up. Yep.
Yeah, indeed, Patterson Mill does finish second place, defeating Bel Air by, 16 points? 17 points?
Yep.
And C. Milton Wright, the runaway winner, with 224 points. So we want to thank you all for tuning in here at Edgewood High School for our 2020 Upper Chesapeake Bay Athletic Conference Championships. Oh, we're going to get a chance to meet our winners after all.
And thank you to the viewers that are watching and supporting the sport from home. Thank you.
And now our winner, Mason Sprinkle.
Mason Sprinkle.
Patterson Mill.
Patterson Mill.
There he is. And that was Brent Slutsky who made the joke about sprinkle on the cupcake, just in case Mason didn't like it. I wanted to make clear it was not moi who said that.
There you go. Well, guess I'll have to
own up to it.
Own up to that myself.
It was a good one. There he is, Mason Sprinkle. Again, we want to thank you all for tuning in all season long. Dick Slutsky, so great to have you. Brent, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thanks. Thank
you. Always fun to be here and to see the action from Hartford County Wrestling with Cecil County Wrestling.
Absolutely. I want to thank you all for tuning in all season long. Don Morrison, my partners Brent and Dick Slutsky. Stay tuned to Hartford Cable Network throughout the seasons as we bring you high school sports on the Hartford Cable Network. So we'll say goodnight to you from Edgewood High School, where the C. Milton Wright Mustangs have won the team title. Patterson Mill finishing second, Bel Air finishing third. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.